The film begins with a child named Alex, who is with his family at the airport. Alex and his family are immigrants from their country, Ukraine, to London. This is because Alex Euro's family is going through difficult financial circumstances and they are unable to bear the living conditions in Ukraine, so they applied for the social welfare program in order to immigrate and leave the country. After a while, Alex Euro's mother works as an accountant in a bank. While Alex's mother is at work, Alex stays at home and spends most of his time on his computer, and it becomes clear that Alex's father is an irresponsible person. He stays with his friends, prefers to drink, and is not interested in his family. Alex does not have any friends other than the computer and the internet, which always leave him on the spot. He is fully aware of everything that happens in this world, except that he is able to communicate any information he wants easily, and as the years pass, Alex learns programming and also how to make codes of all kinds, and that is why Alex decides that he must enter university, and this is because he wants to learn more about programming, and he wants to be like Bill Gates, but he discovered that he needed to collect a lot of money to pay for the college expenses that he wanted to attend, and because he was sure that his family would not be able to help him, he decided to rely on himself and kept searching for any source on the internet until he found sites from which he could earn small amounts. Alex prefers to put the money he earns inside the computer, and with the passage of time, Alex begins to know information about the banking system and the financial crisis, and he is able to know what the weak points of the protection systems are and what their strengths are, and he is able to decide on his life. But his father and mother are always fighting with each other because of their financial problems, so he turns white. Alex thinks that he leaves the house and goes to sit in a cafe. There he hears on the news about a criminal organization carrying out electronic attacks on a number of banks, and Alex knows that the website of this organization is on the dark web and it is impossible to access it, and that the leader of the criminal organization is a very professional hacker whose name is Zaid, and that he is Zaid. He is involved in many crimes around the world, and no one knows how to reach him. One day, Alex returns home and finds his mother crying because she was rejected from her job at the bank, and the bank is the same one that owns the house in which they live, so he is threatened with eviction from the house because she has become unemployed. Work, and therefore you will not be able to pay the monthly installments to the bank. In Beirut, Alex is in his room and brings all the money he has in his hands to his mother, so Alex Euro's mother thinks that Alex stole this money. So it turns out that he earned it from his work on the internet, and that he was in the house to pay for college expenses, so she decides to leave the mother and take this money, because she does not want to waste her son Euro's future. But Alex tells her that he will be able to earn a second amount of money and will be able to spend on himself. Alex returns to his room and searches on the internet for a way to earn money faster. To some extent, he remembers the news that he heard on the news about something called the dark web, and Alex is able to. He connects to the dark web, but his powers are very limited. This is because he is still new to PES admin. How can he still have more capabilities and powers? Tells him that he must send him an Eastern invitation to a level called Soldier, and the one who does this must be someone who is old on the dark web, and tells him that this is something that I don't have at the moment, but he can do anything illegal to prove to them that he is special and really wants to enter the dark web. So think here. Alex, one of his schoolmates, was bullying the students, so Alex is a fake website about food calls. He fights this bullying colleague and enters the card information. His bank account is in it, so Alex generously copied his card information to send it to the admin. Find out that someone named Roosevelt is communicating with him and asking him that he must read the laws first to know that if he is arrested, no one will help him, and that he is the one who will solve his crime. alone. So Alex agreed to the laws. Peter is fast enough to the point of a soldier on the dark web, and he works with Roosevelt in that he sells him certain things. Their size is small, but the money is a lot of money, such as laptops, watches, and phones, and the business continues between them for a long period, and Roosevelt sells anything he wants to sell, and Alex offers it to customers and sells, and Alex is able to steal bank cards and sells them in order to earn more money, so he is able to collect $3,000 in 1 month after he had collected them the first time in 4 years. After that, Alex decides that he will travel to another city to enter college, and after he is accepted there, he will have a month left until he enters because he was a little late in the procedures. This means that he has to work in order to pay for himself, and Alex is able to create a fake identity and buy a group of very expensive watches with it, and this is of course using the bank card that he is stealing, but Alex faces a big problem in selling the stolen watches, and this is because the majority of stores are sure that it is him, the thief of it. There is a person named C. grab Alex, and he walks after him, and C. talks to Alex, and they introduce himself and offer to help him sell the watches he has, and this is in exchange for him giving him 30 of the amount. So Alex agrees because he has no other solution, and in the end they are stolen. So C took the watches from him and was able to sell them with ease. And then C gave Alex the money they had agreed upon, and from then on they became his friends and worked together. Alex was the one who bought the products on the internet. C was the one who sold them, and it appeared that C had connections with all the merchants in the city, and this of course benefits Alex very much, and within a few months, Alex earns a lot of money. By coincidence, Alex sees the news that the hacker Zed is still continuing his attack on the banks. This is because he sees that the banks are enslaving the citizens and destroying their lives. At that time, Alex decides that university life is not suitable for him and that he must communicate with Satan anyway, because he really wants to help him in what he is doing and take revenge on the banks, and it appears that Alex still does not forget those who ran the bank for his mother and Bella. Alex is lucky that there is a list on the dark web with the names of many people who work in large banks, and that the dark web decided to punish them because they are taking advantage of their positions and making money in an illegal way. The Alex gets help from Safe that they are accessing the information and accounts of the employees in these countries. So he agreed to me, and he takes advantage of his wide network of relationships. And from what he knows, he is able to obtain pictures of the employees' Euro bank cards, and this is done while the employees are in many places, such as restaurants and cafes. Alex takes a bank card from a friend of his named Lim that belongs to a Colombian businessman, and he forgot it while he was drunk. Lily C says that this man has caused a lot of problems with the girls of her colleagues, and she hopes that they will be able to take revenge on him and punish him. Alex took this bank card and dismantled it. From the appearance of this card, there are no limits on the amount of withdrawal, and therefore there will be a large amount of money, and this means that they can get into trouble if they steal any money from it. But Sai is convinced that they will try it once, and if they succeed and are able to withdraw the money from it, it will not be used the next day, and the next day they go to the bank and try it out. The first one is to buy anything with it online, and this is to know whether the card owner has reported it stolen or not. He writes to Alex that the card is working and not blocked, so Alex has the bank in his hand and he is able to impersonate the card owner and withdraw a very large amount from the card. Alex leaves the bank with the money and goes to CO. They would be waiting in the car and they would be very happy with the money they had stolen. The next day, Alex would find that the dark web was spreading news that the bank's Euro security system had become weak and that it would be very easy to hack them. Among them would be the bank that had sent away his mother and wanted to block their IP, so Alex decided he selects from this bank and lets it expose his bankruptcy and close it permanently. After he sets his plan, he and Sai go to the bank, and as usual, Sai waits outside and enters the bank on the grounds that he is a new worker and wants to open an account with them, and he is able to deceive the employee and put a flash drive on the computer in front of her and then an operating system. The computer malfunctions, and the employee does not know what the reason is, so Alex asks permission from the employee and tells her that it is not free and they will have another time, but before he leaves the bank, he is arrested by the bank, and this is because they discovered what he did through the cameras, so he tried to see Anne if he would prefer to leave Alex, but the bank security manager asks him to leave. And then the bank manager asks Alex where he got the encryption file on the flash drive, so Alex tells him that he was the one who was able to create it, so the bank manager guesses that Alex works on the dark web and tells him that they will charge him with piracy. He tried to steal the bank's money and tried to steal the bank's money. This means that he will be sentenced to at least several years in prison, so Alex comes up with a smart idea here and tells the bank manager that he did this to prove that the bank's system needs to be developed and that he can develop it and make it stronger and create a firewall for them against electronic and strange intrusions. Here, the bank's security director is convinced of what he says and listens to him that he is walking in exchange for him implementing his idea. On the same day at night, music, they surprise himself by sending him a message in which he expresses his admiration for what he is doing. The second day, he receives a message from the house Quip on Alex Yura's computer from a Noel. Her name is Kira, and she is Kira. She wants to get to know Alex and do a bad job with him. And he arranges a date for Alex with her so that he can meet her and get to know her. Alex tells him that he is meeting Kira, and they keep talking about hacker operations. Alex tells Kira that he wants to meet Z, and Kira tells him that he has to. He performs a major operation that attracts more attention, so he and C go on to steal bank cards, so Kira agrees and buys a printer dedicated to printing bank cards to make their work easier. However, Kira teaches Alex and C how to use an incognito browser so that no one can reach them, and as days pass, Alex, Kira, and Sai carry out operations. Many of their skills are improving, and Kira is able to sell anything they buy on the internet, but Sai begins to doubt her because she has a very large number of buyers and he buys products from her all the time without even agreeing with her on the price, and C tells Alex that as long as she has everything, why does she work with them? Why doesn't she work alone? But Alex doesn't care what he says and says that he is saying that because he is jealous of Kira, because she sells for better prices than him and has more relationships than him. Days pass, and one day Kira proposes to Alex that they should travel together to Hong Kong because there will be more work and they will be able to earn more money, so Alex will get from it that she will give him time to think about the matter. And on the second day, Alex will meet Roosevelt, who helped him to get promoted on the dark web, and I will give him $1 as thanks to him, and he will tell him if he knew anything about Kira, especially since he takes him the rank of first lieutenant, so Roosevelt tells him that he had not heard of her before, so Alex has doubts about her, and then he asks him how he can meet Zaid, but Rusty does not respond to him, and he leaves and walks. And then Alex, C, and Kira are going to complete a big deal, and it appears that C does not like what he said. It happens, and he is very opposed to the fact that they will sell all these quantities at once, other than, of course, that he does not trust the people who agreed with Kira, and he doubts that they might be from the police. In Beirut, he talks to the buyers and keeps fighting with Kira in front of them until the deal is ruined, and it appears that the buyers are from the mafia and raises weapons on them, and they are about to kill them, but Alex guides them all and tells them that they will leave the place calmly. So the men of the mafia explain to him that if they deal with them again or if they see them again, it will be their end. So Alex and Care arrive at the house and they will be very disappointed because of what happened. It happened that they decided that they had to leave London immediately so that they would not be killed by mafia gangs. The next day, they all traveled to Hong Kong and bought an apartment to work in. Also bought a new car and continued their work stealing bank cards until one day, Alex forgot to try the card before he tried it. He uses it and writes to the store from which they are buying that the card is fake, so the men of the store attack them in order to arrest them and hand them over to the police, but they are able to escape from them and return to the apartment. And they are very upset about what happened, so it hurts them. So they go to spend the night in her money to get out of the state of frustration they are in, and there, C gets into a fight with one of the pioneers of the place, and he and Alex go to prison. But they discover that they are getting out quickly, and they learn that Kira called her uncle, and he is the one who got them out of prison. The second day comes, and C makes a mistake and uses the bank card of the Colombian businessman, which C had taken from his friend Lynn when they first started work. He and Alex are in a house that Alex is quarreling with C because he was warned that he should not use the card again because its owner could easily find him, and in this way he is putting them all in danger, and Alex asks Sid to return to London again, and this is because he will stay with them and I will spend a lot of money on him, so C will fulfill his needs and put his friend down and walk away from the apartment. He is very sad because of what happened, and then Alex and Kira employ people with them to help them steal ATM machines all over Hong Kong, and every time they steal, they leave a card with the word dark web on it, and this is in order to attribute the operation to Z. And thus he agrees that he is meeting Alex. And again, one day it will be all over the news that $2 million have been stolen and that the person responsible for the theft is Zaid, the leader of the dark web. Zaid knows that Alex is the one who carried out these thefts and sends him a message on the dark web and congratulates him on what he has done. Alex finds out that he is meeting him in person because he tells him about a very big operation, so Zaid tells him that someone will contact him, and after that, an unknown person actually calls Alex, and they swallow at the meeting place, and there, they are surprised. He is imagining it in his mind, and Zaid will be sitting in a chair with a respirator, and his face has many burns, and Alex asks Zaid to work with him, and he agrees. Zaid, however, tells Alex that as soon as he works for him, he will belong to him only, and if he succeeds in what they ask of him, he will take anything he wants, but if he makes a mistake, he and his entire family will die. Alex agreed to all of Zaid Euro's conditions, and after he leaves, a phone comes to him from C. He apologizes to him for what he did and tells him that he did not travel to London and that he was waiting for them in their apartment. As soon as he finishes this call, he finds someone entering the apartment with him, and then Alex and Kira return to the apartment and Bella Guasi was murdered in the bathroom. So they conclude that the one who he did this to him, the Colombian businessman who owned the bank card that he used, and they told him that C was the one who was in the apartment in their time. They were the ones who died. And Alex wants to call the police, but Kira prevents him, and they know that there's nothing ahead of them, except that they flee the place immediately, and the second day he moves to the place where they will work with Zaid. Zaid and his men are working on a plan, which is that they are faking the story of the assassination of the president of the American Federal Reserve, and at the same time, Alex and his men are spreading fake news that the bank president may actually be dead, so the shares of companies and banks on the stock market will continue to collapse, and Zaid will be preparing himself to attack on all the financial markets and stealing millions of dollars from them, but the police discover that the bank president is alive and present in another place, and that the one who died was someone impersonating him, and that all this happened to cause problems in the stock market, so Alex and Kira quickly flee their place, but a group of masked men attack them and beat him and Biff, a role model of awareness. Alex and Bella found themselves in a deserted place and did not know how to reach Kira or anything else. He quickly traveled to Thailand with a fake identity because he had an agreement with Kira that if anything happened to them, they would meet there and Alex would wait for Kira in the place they agreed on, but Kira would not show up. Beirut, he was able to use the internet, and because he did not have enough money, he used his bank card, and Alex learned from the news that Zed had been arrested, that his company, Kira, had died while trying to escape from the police, and that the Colombian businessman had been arrested as a financier of Zed Euro's plan, and that Alex was the one who dropped information. The Colombian businessman was carrying out Z's plan to take revenge on him because he killed his friend C. At this moment, the girl in charge of the store discovers that Alex's card is fake, so she is taken to the police and taken away from him. Then Alex enters Kira's page. She may bring him any information that will help him, but they are surprised. The police come and arrest him, and Alex remains in prison for a long time. After 2 years, he is released with a royal pardon. As soon as Alex comes out of prison, he finds Kira waiting for him, and Kira tells him about what happened. We go back in time, Laura, and we learn that Kira was imprisoned in one of the electronic crimes that she created. She tells him that the security director of the bank that Alex hacked is in fact an intelligence officer, and that after Alex was released from the bank, he met Kira and made a deal with her and told her that Alex could connect them to Zed, the leader of the dark web organization, and then the intelligence planted Kira next to Alex and let her get closer to him through. She lured him with money, and that the person she was saying was her uncle was the same intelligence officer who appointed her. At that time, the intelligence had information that Al-Zaid was in Hong Kong and Kira and Alex had to travel there with him, and for that reason, Kira suggested to Alex the idea of Euro travel, and the intelligence planned the mafia story. They may be in danger, and therefore they will choose to travel to Hong Kong, and at that time the intelligence was monitoring all their steps until the plan was completed and they were able to locate Zed and arrest him. Kira tells Alex that she did not know that they were going to tell her that she was dead, and then the intelligence locked her in a secret place because thus she was not able to meet Alex in the place where he was supposed to meet in Thailand, but after she left, she was able to find out where he was and helped him with her relationship so that he could get out of prison. As soon as Kira finishes her words, she tells Alex that he can now use his real passport so that he can return to her family with her and start a life together, new, without any violations of the law, and the movie will be finished. Don't forget to subscribe to the CIA.